What's the deal with those modern airplanes? Hello, this is Reinhard von Hennigs. Do you remember some time ago when the Airbus 380, the largest airplane in the world flying passengers for commercial flights, was just put out of work as it was no longer produced? And now, in light of the coronavirus, all airlines are slowly just trying to retire it. Same is true for the big Boeing 747, the jumbo jet. The Boeing production with the 737 MAX had a problem. Now we hear a couple of days ago that the 787, the so-called Dreamliner, does not seem to be a dream as there seems to be a problem. And while the European manufacturer Airbus and the American Boeing are in trouble, we see in China the C919, which is a competition to the Boeing 737 as well as to the Airbus 320 family, are running and ramping and kicking and being produced. This is an interesting trend. And why do I believe that the airlines are not dead? First of all, in the current corona times, there's a problem. Second of all, it seems to be that both the Europeans and the Americans have miscalculated what future travel will be. I believe the Chinese are right on target. Small to medium range is the future, as people still would like to move. Maybe no longer around the world, but for fun, for work, or whatever it is. So while I'm sitting here, not sure when I can go next time on board of an airplane, I know to look out for one. The C919, the new Chinese airplane, is supposed to have a more favorable cabin, different seating structures, and all the modern bells and whistles, including a larger lavatory. Well, that's something, isn't it? More space on an airplane made in China, while the Europeans and the American airlines are grounded for technology issues or for being wrong size.
Have you ever gotten an award for an upgrade nobody asked for? Hello, this is Reinhard von Hennigs. And if you're American Airlines, you may have just received that award. American Airlines, in the last in-flight entertainment option, is now targeting the next generation. American Airlines is giving away TikTok, the social media platform, free of charge for 30 minutes on a flight if the equipment is Viasat equipped and is a narrow-body airframe. So if you are a TikTok user and you can wait until you land, use the 30 minutes on board of the American Airlines flight and use it for free. What are the real takeaways? Well, first of all, technology does not stop while you're above the clouds. Who thought in the past that the flight means to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight? Now it's time to work, communicate, and TikTok nowadays, so you're in touch with the rest of the world. Number two, don't laugh about the trend when millennials and the current generation X, Z, Y, and whatever other names are out there, they're now using TikTok. We are all using TikTok. And while we're all using TikTok, let's put it on board of an airplane. Number three, the bandwidth on top is satellite powered, so strong that they can carry it, that 100 passengers may be using TikTok at the same time. And number four, if you are a company trying to recruit or retain the best customers you can think of, TikTok seems to be a platform not to overlook. I'm wondering, what is the next platform and what is the next new frontier up in the air? Is TikTok GDPR compliant? Hello, this is Reinhard von Hennigs. GDPR, the European Data Protection Guideline, and TikTok may be two different concepts from two different parts of the universe. But the question remains, is TikTok compliant? And the answer is out. The Irish Data Protection Commission, the so-called DPC, has commenced a two-check task, a two-check inquiry on TikTok's Limited, the Irish company, with regard to compliance with the GDPR. The first inquiry will examine the details under which TikTok uses age verification of its users, as TikTok has banned users below the age of 13. So how does TikTok read that out? How does TikTok store data from the 13 to the 18-year-old is a question of the first inquiry. The second one is related to the focus of transfer of personal data to China. China allegedly has the server capacity and all the personal data is somewhere routed towards China. How is this done, or how is this done in third countries, is a part of the second inquiry. What are the main takeaways? Number one, whether TikTok is in violation of the European data protection laws shall not matter for the answer. Therefore, number two, what can you do as a company? If you're working abroad and you have no European subsidiary, you are still subject to the GDPR. Number three, if you are operating inside the European Union with an EU subsidiary and you're operating in good faith, all of the GDPR guidelines apply to you. So in a way, whether you are with a subsidiary or whether you are without a subsidiary, you still need to follow these guidelines. So therefore, my takeaway is, if you want to avoid liability from a GDPR point of view, it does not make sense not to incorporate. So in other words, follow the law is a better strategy than to make an avoidance attempt in not incorporating there. GDPR is powerful, and after many years in existence, the fines are tremendous. So therefore, follow GDPR is my key advice. What is the problem with Pacific networks? Hello, this is Reinhard von Hennigs. And the quick answer is, I don't know what the problem is. However, the US government has decided to ban Pacific Network from the opportunity to sell its networking services inside the United States. After last year, the US government already blocked China Telecom from operating inside the United States. Now Pacific Networks is no longer allowed to be in the market. They lost the license to offer national as well as international services. The federal agency responsible for that, the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, mentioned in its reasoning why this network was terminated from the services that there is a significant risk for the national security as well as for law enforcement. The company is supposedly able to interfere with the communication inside the United States, to compromise the communication inside the United States, and there's no other opportunity than to shut them down. What does it mean in practical terms? If you are running a business and your company is relying on their services, you need to find a new service provider. However, if you are a telecommunication company trying to enter the US market, the takeaway is make sure that you are in line with US governmental guidelines. China Telecom, who was banned in October of 2021, operated for over 20 years inside the United States. Is now the harsh method against China an expression of the overall hardening feelings in the global world, in the economy, and the political arena? We don't know. We may be able to speculate about that. But for now, the key takeaway is the safety of the network is utmost important, and therefore the FCC made the decision. Let me know your thoughts about that.